Happy Travel Tuesday. I tell you, y'all, these Democrats are. How y'all doing this morning? Let's not get immediately into the politics. So y'all heard the breaking news last night, right? P. Diddy was arrested for those SA allegations and those trafficking allegations. If you didn't know, yes, P. Diddy was arrested. Let's see. Sean Puffy Combs, the rapper and music mogul, was arrested at the Manhattan Hotel on Monday evening after a federal grand jury chose to indict him on a series of charges that are unknown at this time. But we already know what the charges are. Well, they have new video. Wait a minute. Let me make it there. Let's see. They're saying his house was it's a quick video. His house was sealed off after he was arrested. Only independent. Hold up.
Diddy, whose real name is Sean Combs, has been arrested after allegedly attacking his son's football coach with a kettlebell.
This old. My bad. Nope. Where was I watching the video at last night? My daughter's at the dentist. Hey, it's Deeper. Yes, baby. He got arrested last night. I had breaking news last night at 9:30. Sure did. He was arrested last night at the New York hotel by federal authorities on the indictment. I'm trying to let it come up. It's hot in here. Hold on. Okay. Yep. We told y'all I was coming.
City this morning after he was arrested at a New York hotel last night. Authorities say his charges will be revealed later today when the indictment's unsealed. The arrest comes 6 months after Diddy's homes in Los Angeles and Miami were raided by federal agents. You might remember that, part of an investigation into allegations including sex trafficking. Combs has also been recently hit by a string of civil lawsuits accusing him of sexual assault and illegal distribution of guns and drugs. He denies all the allegations. NBC News correspondent Julia Ainsley joins us on this. Julia, good morning. So first, just walk us through how the arrest unfolded last night, what we know this morning about what happened. What we know, according to his lawyers, Diddy voluntarily returned back to New York because they were expecting a grand jury to issue this indictment that would lead to his arrest. He was at the Park Hyatt Hotel in New York City where he was arrested around 8:30 p.m. last night. Now, he was arrested by Homeland Security Investigations. They're the investigative arm under ICE. Also another reason why I'm talking about Diddy, because I cover Homeland Security, in case you were wondering how I got into this. Homeland Security has been looking into Diddy basically for the last 6 months, at least that we know of.
My bad, y'all. Hold up. I don't even got my air on in the car. And I need to fix my damn nose ring. All right.
Even earlier, they were the ones who executed the search warrants in Miami and Los Angeles in March, and they've been doing this under a search warrant that was given to them by the Southern District of New York. So we can expect more details today to come from the Southern District here in Manhattan. But a key part of why it's important that Homeland Security Investigations was running this is to remember that this could have some international implications. We expect, based on what his lawyer said, that he might be charged with racketeering and sex trafficking. If there's any indications that the sex trafficking came from outside the country, that could bring up and make this even more serious. But already he's looking at possible racketeering charges, sex trafficking, as well as those civil lawsuits that accuse him of physical and sexual abuse. Julia, first of all, you could cover anything and everything that you feel, so no questions there, but thank you for the explanation. Now remind us the details here, the allegations he's been facing, the lawsuits against him. Yeah, let's walk through the timeline, Savannah. So late last year, a former girlfriend of his, known as Cassie, filed a lawsuit that was quickly settled, but she accused him of physical and sexual abuse. Then 3 other women came forward accusing him of sexual abuse during their relationships with him. 2 of those women were teenagers. And then all of a sudden, there was this big day in March. We can remember there was property searches of his homes in Miami and Los Angeles. We saw investigators walking out with electronics. And then Diddy's phone was taken when he was in Miami and an airport on his way to the Bahamas. There was a lot of interest in his communications. So it went beyond what happened in his relationships. People started to look at whether or not he was actually organizing what looks like sex trafficking. And that's really been the allegation at the heart of this now. It went beyond sexual abuse in relationships. And so we can expect today, based on what we saw from the U.S. attorney putting out on X last night, that they're going to move to unseal this indictment today. So we'll be able to look page by page about what investigators had, what the grand jury did decide to indict him for, and try to get a clearer picture of where Diddy stood in the middle of all of this potential sex trafficking and racketeering. Julia, I'm going to ask you to tell us how Combs and his legal team are responding to this arrest. I know we have a full statement. I do have a question, though, about it after you read it, which is part of it says in there that he is not criminal. It is part of what
What's
they are
crazy,
claiming. And I guess just
my
because I feel like there's been so much news around him, there's so many different
he's been arrested or that it took so long.
We saw those raids. One thing that we all saw with our own eyes was footage from a hotel that dealt with Cassie and that accusation that you saw there. And assaulting somebody is a crime. So I guess I'm wondering, in light of their response that you're going to read to us, how we're supposed to take that, if there really is any room for a defense here that you could see. It's a really good conversation. I'll read you the statement and then let's talk about that. His lawyers putting out last night, we are disappointed with the decision to pursue what we believe is an unjust prosecution. He is an imperfect person, but is not criminal. Please reserve your judgment until you have all the facts. These are the acts of an innocent man, nothing to hide, and he looks forward to clearing his name in court. Now, often we see, Vanna, that people, celebrities, people with the
baby, we've been hearing about him for years.
Lawyers, and most of the things that they will say is that, this is an imperfect person, sure, but their name will be cleared in court. That's really hard, though, in the age of social media, when you're talking about the video like the one you've seen, where it looks really clear to an observer that he is abusing someone. So it's hard to get past that. I will say we've even seen his lawyers try to take to that same messaging platform using TikTok to go through visuals, go through criminal complaints, explain to viewers why they think he is still innocent and why all of this is a conspiracy against him. We should also say that those lawsuits that were filed, especially the one from Cassie, was done when New York opened a window for people with previously what would have been expired complaints to come forward. And so these are part of the arguments that we'll hear from his lawyer. But you're right, it's hard to make arguments about someone's innocence in an age when we're looking at videos. Absolutely.
Right.
Julia, you were great on reporting at Diddy. We appreciate you being here. Thank you very much. We know you'll stay on it.
Right. Okay. So, yeah, it stopped raining. I can let my window
Let's start bringing in NBC News Capitol Hill correspondent Tally for more reaction. Good morning. What are we hearing this morning from members of Congress about yesterday's incident?
And then, So yeah, so P. Diddy was arrested last night around 8:30 in his New York hotel. They say he came to New York, he basically knew about the indictment or whatever, but that don't mean nothing. You can know about it all you want, that don't mean you're not gonna serve time. So yeah. Breaking news on that, and then y'all already know about the second Trump assassination. So that don't make you say, okay, I may want to go watch some stuff from Trump and see, like, why do they want to unalive this man so bad? Like, why? Why do they want to? And then when Kamala gonna say there are no active servicemen in war, lying. Look at this.
American service members watching the presidential debate in a war zone. When Kamala Harris says there's no Americans serving in a war zone, their reactions going viral on TikTok. Well, I will tell you, I agree with President Biden's decision to pull out of Afghanistan.
My bad.
Service members watching the presidential debate in a war zone. When Kamala Harris says there's no Americans serving in a war zone, their reactions going viral on TikTok. Well, I will tell you, I agree with President Biden's decision to pull out of Afghanistan. 4 presidents said they would, and Joe Biden did. And as a result, America's taxpayers are not paying the $300 million a day we were paying for that endless war. And as of today, there is not one member of the United States military who is in active duty in a combat zone in any war zone around the world. Wrong. Wait, what? But let's understand. So where the are we right now?
Right, where they at then?
You see where the military supports Trump?
If nobody, again, maybe y'all didn't see that because that was a little blur.
In a war zone, when Kamala Harris says there's no Americans serving in a war zone, their reactions going viral on TikTok. Well, I will tell you, I agree with President Biden's decision to pull out of Afghanistan. 4 presidents said they would, and Joe Biden did. And as a result, America's taxpayers are not paying the $300 million a day we were paying for that endless war. And as of today, there is not one member of the United States military who is in active duty in a combat zone in any war zone around the world. Wrong. Wait, what? But let's understand. So where the are we right now?
Right.
Military supports Trump.
So where they at? If there's nobody actively on active duty right now, where are those people at, Kamala? And then I love how the CNN Dinah Bash, how she got humiliated, by the Ohio governor. Yes. J.D. Vance. Where that video at?
Why aren't they texting me back? Are they mad at me? Do they not like me anymore? I'm scared to ask for reassurance.
So Kamala Harris top surrogate Stacey Plaskett said Trump needed to be shot.
I thought he said something.
Let's find it.
Have had the codes, but now having the classified information for Americans and being able to put that out and share it in his resort with anyone and everyone who comes through should be terrifying to all Americans, and he needs to be stopped.
So, oh, wow. She said shot instead of stop. Oh, wow, y'all. Listen to this. Listen to this. Hey, Felipe.
Like this that,
my daughter's in the dentist, and I have to take her to school. Then I go to my 3rd day being an educator.
How to pronounce her last name because of things like this that,
Look at this.
Watch this. What she said. Literally don't even like.
Having Trump not only have had the codes, but now having the classified information for Americans and being able to put that out and share it in his resort with anyone and everyone who comes through should be terrifying to all Americans, and he needs to be stopped.
So, you mean to tell me
there was not a mistake?
Somebody is literally
on air, MSNBC, and says this.
Yeah, say he needs to be shot.
So
Stop.
this is something that was obviously said. I'm not making this up. This is something that's said. Even though if it's a mistake that she said, even though that I don't think it is, even if it's a mistake that she said this, how I look at it is a simple fact of
who says that?
thinking it.
Right.
His resort with anyone and everyone who comes through should be terrifying to all Americans, and he needs to be stopped.
That is sickening, bro.
Shot? Okay.
That's
These people are weird.
And different things, and Roseanne,
where is it? Because somebody gonna try to come for me talking about voting rights given to you for the Democrats. I want to say the Republicans didn't free you from the kindness of their heart. Like, so you think the Democrats gave you the right to vote from the kindness of their heart? Like, what? Where's my history? Yeah, see, this was my video I did last night. Like, I wasn't playing last night. Yeah, that's been unusual. It's right here. Last night, y'all, I had breaking news last night. Security raids on the bed. Yes. And then I had played that little video, whatever. Yeah, just a little 40-something minute video, but that's not what I'm looking for. That's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for... first it was Casey, the 2016 or so. Then it says, following the tourist lawsuit, just as New York's Adult Surviving Act was set to expire, 2 more women still...
there's much sweet. Yo, black. You were seeing...
Okay, so the man that tried to assassinate Trump, look what he got on the back of his car in Hawaii.
The guy had a Kamala Harris sticker on his car. Put it up. The guy had a Kamala Harris sticker on his car. The guy voted for Democrats. I want you to see it. Here's the guy's truck sitting in his driveway. The guy had a Joe Biden Kamala Harris sticker on the damn car. You were seeing Time Magazine this morning. Got community noted into the Sun. But still, Time Magazine this morning
with a Hawaii tag.
Political ideology. We'll never know. We may never know. You can see what they're trying to do here.
So my question is, okay, he got a Biden Harris stick on the back of his truck. He lives in Hawaii, the most expensive state in the United States. But he's somehow been unemployed. Who is paying for all this? This man has been to Uganda, back and forth to the United States. Wait a minute, let me find it. Like, who is paying for all this?
Full control since this happened inside of the Florida.
And I am so glad that the Florida governor decided to launch their own investigation and not let FBI try to cover this up. That's exactly what they're trying to do. Hold up. That's exactly what they are trying to do. Hold up. Videos. Look at the foot. Look at how he look. Hold up. Here you go. Here you go. This is what I want to show y'all.
Threatened Donald Trump's life by trying to storm the stage. Who knows what else has been stopped, right? This is the man who was stopped yesterday, Ryan Ralph. Ryan Ralph is the guy's name. Don't let anybody lie to you. Here's a photo of his pickup truck with a Biden Harris sticker on it. The guy loved Kamala Harris.
In Hawaii, y'all.
His neighbors claimed that he was he was a scary guy. Right? You can see here, they always have a look to him, don't they? Right?
Right.
Clearly a psychopath, but he's somebody who's clearly been radicalized by the left. You can see the Biden-Harris sticker clear as day right on the back of his truck. It's radicalized completely by the left, and now comes the actual questions. These are the real questions. Former FBI official saying, how the hell did he know where Trump was going to be?
Right.
We've now learned that the guy's was camping out at the golf course
for 12 hours.
He was there for
12 hours, y'all.
How is he so certain about where Donald Trump was going to be? Donald Trump's trip to the golf course wasn't planned. This was something that was OTR. Okay, it's off the record. This is off the schedule. This was a fluid event that could change or move according to presidential details. I mean, who knows where Donald Trump's going to be? In a moment, he could be moving, gone, here and there. He's all over the place. This shooter was so certain that Donald Trump was going to be there.
So certain. But I'm trying to figure out, how do he live in Hawaii? In Hawaii.
Look at this.
But not employed.
Attempted Trump assassin was seen in video footage from Ukraine.
What?
Shock roll in the war against Russia revealed. This dude was like running around with the Azov battalion. He was in promotional materials. Look at this guy.
Look at this man.
How the hell did he get to Ukraine? Where'd he get all his tactical gear? Who's buying all this?
Right.
It doesn't make any sense. Where's some money coming from? Doesn't make any sense. He's a lifelong Democrat. This is his arrest record. It's as long as my arm, but there's one that's particularly interesting. Got stolen goods.
Watch this one down here, y'all.
Violations, carry concealed weapon violations, hit and run. The guy's the guy is clearly a cultural
I'm at the dentist with my daughter.
Destruction?
I'm not driving.
What is that? Look at this at the very bottom. Possession of a weapon of mass destruction. Huh?
Possession of a weapon of mass destruction.
Weapon of mass destruction.
Like, where in the world is he getting a weapon? Do y'all see it? Hold up. Talking about drive. I'm not driving. I am at the dentist with my daughter. My 11-year-old, and I have to take her to school.
What the heck? What is that? Look at this at the very bottom. It was possession of a weapon of mass destruction. Huh? What? Yeah, this guy has glowing profiles in the New York Times, Semaphore, and other globalist institutional rags. What is this about? You can read all about how wonderful his work, how Ryan Ralph,
in all these places,
the roofer, is somehow trying to get people to fight in Ukraine who are Afghanis, who are living in Iran. Well, isn't that interesting? Would-be assassin Ryan Ralph wrote a book urging Iran to kill President Trump. So now his connection to Iran is there, and all over his social media pages are photographs of him in Washington, D.C., lobbying Congress for Ukraine, in Ukraine. Maybe the guy's just insane. Or maybe there's something else happening here.
We know what's happening.
To get to the reality of what is occurring here, and to ask real questions to make sure the state of Florida has their hooks into this guy and can ask real questions. Witnesses details the same scene on the interstate where Donald Trump's suspected would-be assassin Ryan Ralph was apprehended. A breathless arrest of Donald Trump would-be assassin on I-95.
I'm trying to see the video. Here you go.
Everybody's outgrowing you on Instagram right now because you don't know what to post, don't know what time to be posting, don't know what hashtags to use, and you...
Yes, I still got the Trump toes because I haven't had time to go get a pedicure because I'm in a new career, being an educator.
Man, appearance, I'm sure they'll stack a bunch of
This
charges
man just
on
looks
top
crazy
of this, but you can see here the smiling photo of the guy.
Why it look like he got boobs?
Inexplicably.
Why it look like he had boobs?
Because he did camp out for nearly 12 hours, according to the FBI, in a sniper's nest that he built outside of the
12 hours, y'all.
So many criminal
a whole AK rifle, a GoPro,
how is this guy able to move
camera,
around
and other
freely?
gear.
Was in possession of a weapon of mass destruction in 2002. Body cam footage reflecting very, very well on Florida on Florida.
Man.
Looking, we are going to.
Then
We have already succeeded, but we are going to continue to hammer.
you. This is my
State of
third
Florida.
day. It's my third day. So thank you, Jeff. I want y'all to hear how JD Wash ate the Dana Bash with her rude tail. Like he's
From Lindsay Davis herself, Kamala Harris's sorority sister and Yaya twin, saying effectively that she only planned. They had multiple false and fake fact checks that have been proven out, yet Kamala Harris was able to repeat multiple lies about Donald Trump that even Snopes have said are lies and are hoaxes, and they not a peep out. People are getting sick of this behavior. People are getting disgusted.
I already had these appointments. You know, they knew I had appointments.
All right.
You know, for my children. So, you know, these appointments were already, you know, in line. But yeah, this video, JD Vance ends Dana Bash career live on CNN. Like all these, she want to keep on fact checking him and ask him questions. But when she have Kamala and Tim Walsh, Tampon Tim on here, she gave them multiple choice answers to give multiple and all that. But him, she just want him to just say, yeah, he ate her up. Show the video.
That when you had Kamala Harris and Tim Walz, you gave them multiple choice answers to the questions that you asked, and you allowed them to answer the questions. I'm happy.
Yeah, my daughter done. I already did quit. She done, y'all. How you feeling? I want y'all to see this little snippet.
I like them because
she had to get a tooth pulled, y'all, in the back, one of her baby teeth.
Here was JD Vance talking to CNN.
I love this.
I just love it when they take
time that I open my mouth. Then why am I even doing this? So don't miss it at all.
Hold up. And then we pulling off.
The mayor does not have a mask. That is a terrible with something damage to the are
saying that there's no evidence.
That Haitian migrants are eating. Had you already made up your mind? Did it make a difference?
No, not at all. Not facts. Facts are facts.
You're supporting
Trump economics. It's as simple as that.
We asked McDermott about the baseless claims made by Trump during the debate that Haitian migrants are eating pets in Ohio. McDermott bought in.
There's actually all over the internet that's on it.
How about you Google Translate it?
On a debate stage in our city, they need to know they're hurting our city, and it was their words that did it. Before Donald Trump talked about eating dogs and cats on a debate stage, it was you, Senator, who first elevated this baseless rumor. These are your constituents, so why are you putting them at risk by continuing to spread claims about Haitian immigrants, despite officials in your state saying that there's no evidence and pleading for you to stop?
Well, Dana, First of all, what's putting the residents of Springfield at risk, which was a town completely ignored by the American media until Donald Trump and I started surfacing some of these concerns, is that they can't afford housing, they can't afford health care. The schools have been overwhelmed, the hospitals have been overwhelmed, and they're overwhelmed because Kamala Harris allowed 20,000 Haitian migrants to get dropped into a small Ohio town of about 40,000 people, and it's completely overwhelmed the services. Now, you ask,
Hey,
why have I
Cheryl.
talked about some of the things that I've been talking about? Let me just say this. My constituents have brought approximately a dozen separate concerns to me. 10 of them are verifiable and confirmable, and a couple of them I talk about because my constituents are telling me firsthand that they're seeing these things. So I have two options, Dana. I could ignore them, which is what the American media has done for years to this community, or I can actually talk about what people are telling me. And of course, many of the things that the media says are completely baseless have since been confirmed. For example, I was told, Dana, that by the American media, that it was baseless that migrants were capturing the geese from the local park pond and eating them. And yet there are 911 calls from well before this ever became a viral sensation of people complaining about that exact thing happening. So my attitude is listen to my constituents. Sometimes they're going to say things that people don't like, but they're saying things that people don't like because their town has been overwhelmed, and it's my job to try to fight for them and to protect them. Kamala Harris opened the border, and now these people are suffering. That's what I'm focused on, Dana.
I agree with him 100%. And I would add on to this with a point I made on X, which is no one cared about Springfield, Ohio until Donald Trump said something.
Exactly.
They didn't even care when J.D. Vance said something. He was
months
in
ago
Congress talking about Springfield, Ohio, and raising these same concerns. So, the fact that they don't even show the clip where he was in the Senate talking about this, where he was in Congress talking about this before this debate, this was many months ago, shows how disingenuous this network is, of course. They only want to report the facts that matter to them, and they only want to talk about the facts in a way that shuts down Trump and whatever message he's trying to get out there. And when we're talking about immigration, we always arrive at the same conclusion, which is it's done more damage to the country than good.
I have to go through several things that you just said. First of all, the Clark County Sheriff and the Ohio Department of Natural Resources reviewed 11 months of 911 calls. They only identified 2 instances of people alleging Haitians were taking geese out of parks. They found 0 evidence to substantiate those claims. Also, other evidence that you have talked about, even you've retweeted, alleged evidence, are unsourced social media videos from a different city, apparently no connection to Haitians. And this is from a conservative activist who offered a $5,000 reward for such things. And then going just backly to the schools and the hospitals and so forth being overwhelmed, nobody is disputing that the town of Springfield, Ohio, needs help. But you're not just a bystander, you're the senator from Ohio. So instead of saying things that are wrong and actually causing the hospitals, the schools, the government buildings to be evacuated because of bomb threats, because of the cats and dogs thing, why not actually be constructive in helping to better integrate them into the community? Because there are a lot of employers there who say that the Haitian workers are helping fill jobs that they need desperately filled.
Girl, stop. They taking jobs.
Dana, first of all, let me just respond to a couple things that you said. But I want to start with something you said, which I think is frankly disgusting and is more appropriate for a Democratic propagandist than it is for an American journalist.
Right.
There is nothing that I have said that has led to threats against these hospitals. These hospitals, the bomb threats and so forth, it's disgusting. The violence is disgusting. We condemn it. We condemn all violence.
Senator, this happened after you and President Trump were on the debate stage, said that cats and dogs were being eaten.
You asked a question, Dana, and I'm going to go ahead and answer it.
After that, they were
What we have said is that this town has suffered terribly under the policies of Kamala Harris. Now, you just accused me of inciting violence against the community when all that I've done is surface the complaints of my constituents, people who are suffering because of Kamala Harris's policies. Are we not allowed to talk about these problems because some psychopaths are threatening violence? We can condemn the violence on the one hand, but also talk about the terrible consequences of Kamala Harris's open border on the other hand. Now, let me just fact check a couple of other things that you said, Dana, because it's important. You said that all of these migrants are in the country legally. They are in the country through what's called temporary protective status. Right. That is when Kamala Harris waved a magic amnesty wand, taking people and giving them legal status. That is not the legal way here legally. That is a terrible indictment of her amnesty policies that have further opened the border and further caused terrible migration into this country.
All right, two things for you. Free speech does not equal inciting violence.
Right.
Meaning just because Trump said they're eating the dogs and the cats, that doesn't mean he incite violence, right? Let's use common sense here, people. But this is what they do. It doesn't matter how nicely Trump will put something, they will stretch it to the point where they're saying that he's inciting violence. It's just like what they did on January 6th. He never said, yeah, break into the Capitol, overturn the election, let's kill all these people. He didn't say anything like that. He said march peacefully and patriotically, right? So there's a difference there. So it's up to a person's interpretation. And when you have Trump derangement syndrome, your interpretation of everything he says is violent. And that's what's going on here with Dana Bash. So he's right that she's more of a propagandist than an actual American journalist, which is shameful. The second thing is she speculated on what actually caused the bomb threats. She doesn't know what caused the bomb threats. She has no letter or official announcement or an investigation that is underway stating that the person who did the bomb threats, did they even catch the person in the first place? And if they did catch him, did that person say, I threatened to bomb up this hospital because of what Trump and JD Vance said? No. So it's just pure speculation. And again, a failure for an American journalist to speculate like that.
You might not agree with the policy, and obviously you don't, which is totally fair and legitimate. There are policy disagreements all the time. But the fact is, it is the law because President Biden and Vice President Harris are. But I don't want to frankly go down this conversation about policy because
you made a point. You don't. I agree. You don't want to talk about policy.
No, what I want to talk about
instead of about the fact,
Senator, it was your distraction.
Granted,
you were the one who started talking about eating dogs and cats. You were the one who brought this up. The president said it to 60 million people.
Cats, and I talked about it because you were ignoring this community. My constituents talked about it.
Have you been to Springfield?
Responsibility to surface their concerns when the American media.
Have you been to Springfield?
Dana, I've been to Springfield probably 100 times in my life.
How about recently, since you've heard
ice cream at Young's Jersey Dairy.
Have you heard recently since you've gotten these calls?
4 days?
No, I'm talking about
the last 4 days, but I've
since
talked
you've
to a lot
gotten
of
these
people
calls
in
from the
Springfield,
consumer.
Dana, and they're telling me this stuff is happening. Dana, would you like to ask me questions and then let me answer them, or would you like to debate me on these topics? I noticed that when you had Kamala Harris and Tim Walz, you gave them multiple choice answers to the questions that you asked, and you allowed them to answer the questions. I'm happy to be here to talk about policy, but if you're going to interrupt me every single time that I open my mouth, then why am I even doing this? So please ask a question, and I'd ask you to be polite enough to let me answer it.
Yes, I am, and I think Kamala Harris and Tim Walz were making unsubstantiated claims.
Girl, they made a whole lot of unsubstantiated claims about Trump. With this project 2025, he has nothing to do with hold up. A lot of lies. Like what? I didn't fact check her on nothing she said at that debate. It was more of against one. It was not a debate. It was he was debating ABC and Kamala. Shit. What?
I can take these in the house, man. These are the
He's a happy boy. I'll be with Dad. Definitely gonna make that happen. You got it in the bag. Just one quick stop and together. You know what I mean? And there's no separating those things. So I was really able to, and I know you, see you from a different perspective.
Can't wait for golf this weekend, huh, buddy? Time flies. Love you, man. Oh, don't forget your knee brace again. We aren't in college anymore.
Moments together matter. So help protect yourself from RSV. If you're 75 or older or 60 plus with a chronic condition like asthma, COPD, heart disease, or severe diabetes, you're at higher risk of landing in the hospital from RSV, and there are no prescription RSV treatments. Check eligibility and schedule your RSV vaccine at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Take the beat with you wherever you go. On iHeartRadio. Powered by XanderInsurance.com.
It's beat weather. A Fox 17 meteorologist Greg Bogus starting off a touch cooler this morning in the upper 50s and low 60s. Low humidity for today and temperatures that will climb into the low to middle 80s for highs. And with that, a few clouds, but potentially a shower or two in the Cumberland Plateau.
This report is sponsored by Publix Supermarkets. Enjoy savings at Publix Supermarkets with buy one, get one deals. They have lots of new BOGOs every week. And when you join Club Publix, you can get exciting perks. Discover many ways to save at clubpublix.com. Terms and conditions apply.
The free iHeartRadio app has over 100 commercial-free stations like Hip Hop 2000. The best 2000s hip hop from Outkast, Jay-Z, 50 Cent, Lil Wayne, and more. Open the free iHeartRadio app, search Hip Hop 2000s, and listen.
If you need to, go ask the nurse for some extra gauze when we get here in the office. When you get to the office, I'm sure she got some.